Hey guys, and welcome back to That LP Show. The name of the game is The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past for the Super NES. Now that we have the Pendant of Power in hand, we're going after the Pendant of Wisdom, the third and final of the Pendants of Virtue, so we can finally get the Master Sword. But first, we are going to take a little detour. We're going to get something that can actually increase our mobility in water, and it is going to actually cost us 500 rupees. In case you're hurting on rupees, we can simply come into this room, and we can lift up all these jars, toss them around. There are 10 blue rupees to be had. And if we exit out and go back in, they all respawn. So yes, this is a very, very quick way to grind for rupees. Check out the cave east of Lake Hylia. Strange and wonderful things live in it. Alright, so we'll remember that for a little later. We can actually go there right now. In fact, we will be going there, but not right now. I want to wait until I can travel around the world a little bit easier. Okay, so in addition to being able to lift up little white rocks, we can also lift up big white rocks. So we have ourselves an easier path to get into there. For right now, I want to head to the northeast portion of Hyrule, because that's where we're going to get the next item that we need to get, or should I say buy, because we are going to have to purchase it. Alright, so there was a man in Kakariko Village who mentioned something about a waterfall. We'll definitely want to go in there. Whoa, watch out. There we go. Not to worry if we take a little bit of damage. I'm actually going to show you an easy way to heal up here real soon. Alright, and watch out for those guys. Don't want to hit them or we'll get electrocuted. And looks like we got a witch cooking something up here. We have to cook! Double, toil and trouble, fire burnin', cauldron bubble, making mushroom brew I am. Okay, so maybe we'll find her a mushroom a little later. But if we come in here, we have our potion shop. So if you have an empty bottle, which, no, we don't, you can actually buy one of these potions. We can buy the red potion, which completely heals your hearts. We have the green potion, which will completely refill your magic. And then we have the more expensive blue potion, which heals up both. So if we talk to this little girl right here, she explains what each of the medicines are, but more importantly, she gives us a little sample of the red potion, so we come here anytime we want to get a refill. Also, it's worth noting that in the Game Boy Advance remake of this game, they actually changed her sprite to look more like Maple the Witch, who first debuted in Link's Awakening. Okay, so we didn't have access to this area before because it was blocked off by this big rock, so I'm coming here simply because I can now that I have the power gloves. So, oh, ow. Okay, so, yeah. That's why you want to not hit those guys. Yeah, I think what were these guys called? Later on in the series, they were renamed Choo-Choos. They had some of them would electrocute you if you hit them, but I think, like, in Wind Waker, there was a blue variety or a yellow variety. Not all of them would electrocute you. Anyway, the man that was mentioning the waterfall, that waterfall is right here. Unfortunately, we cannot swim, so we're going to have to find a way in order to swim. And we can do that by coming up here to Zora. I believe this location is called Zora River, and appropriately enough, there are Zoras here. Maybe you may be one of the few wondering, why do these Zoras in these old school Zelda games look so much different from the blue Zoras that debuted in The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time? It's because there are actually there's actually two factions of the Zora race. There are River Zoras, which you see here, and there are Sea Zoras, which are the ones that you see in Ocarina of Time and most of the 3D Zelda games. In fact, I don't believe the River Zoras have actually been in any of the 3D games. In fact, I think I think both Zoras actually appeared in one of the Oracle games. It's been a while since I've played them. I'm going to have to get back to those. Wahaha! What do you want, little man? Do you have something to ask me? I just want the slippers. Or, not the slippers, the flippers. Wahaha, but I don't just give the flippers away. I sell them for 500 rupees a pair. And we'll go ahead and pay him, and in addition to letting us have the flippers, he also gives us access to these whirlpools that will appear throughout Hyrule in the water now, and they'll warp us to different locations throughout. So it's a good way to quick travel if you know how each one of them interconnect. And if we come over here, we get another piece of heart, completing another heart container. And now we can finally swim, of course, so we want to come down here. And now we'll have access to that waterfall, and we'll get a few new handy items from there. Yeah, I think one of the Oracle games had both of them. That actually makes for something, kind of, you know, it could make for some interesting plot elements in a later Zelda game. You know, kind of a civil war thing happening between the two factions of the Zoras. Since the Sea Zoras, they're all, you know, allies to the Hyrule Kingdom and all elegant and high society and all highfalutin, thinking they're all, you know, thinking their shit don't stink. And of course, they are fish, so nothing really stinks underwater. And then you have the River Zoras, which could easily be seen as savages and lesser class to the Sea Zoras. So I can see some shit happening between them. Anyway, we come up here. This is the Waterfall of Wishing, and we can toss in some items by highlighting them and pressing the Y button. I just pressed the A button there, so I don't know why it prompts you to specifically press the Y button. But anyway, once you throw in an item, if you go ahead and tell her that you tossed it in there, she'll say you're an honest person, and she'll give you something better in return. She upgraded our boomerang to the magical boomerang. It's faster, and it flies further. Let's see if I can demonstrate. Yeah, well, it's kind of a small room in here. But yeah, as you can see, it makes it through all the way across the screen. All right, we got one more item that we're going to throw in, and that being our shield. And for fessing up to tossing that in there, she upgrades our shield to... Well, it doesn't have a specific name, it just says your shield is improved. I like to call it the Fire Shield. Because now that we have that, let's demonstrate. Come on, Zora, pop out. Try to hit me with a fireball. Oh, you suck, you hit me at the wrong angle. Here, let's try seeing if it works from this angle. There we go, it blocks fireballs. Also, if you have an empty bottle and you also toss it in there, she'll kindly fill it with green potion. Okay, so I came into this whirlpool, and that actually tossed us all the way down here to Lake Hylia. And this cave that you see up here is actually the one that was mentioned by that man in the room next to the desert where we grinded for all those rupees. We'll be going there a little bit later. Don't want to do it right now. I want to come up here first. Even though we have the whirlpools, when I mentioned that we'll have an easier way of fast travel, this wasn't exactly what I was talking about. We'll get something better later on. Okay, so under the bridge, we have this man sleeping here. Are you going to ask me if I like birds? No, you're just going to kindly give me a bottle for no reason. Okay, so now we have a third bottle. Okay, with that in hand, there's one more whirlpool that I want to take, and we'll carry on with our business of climbing Death Mountain to get to the Tower of Hera and get to that third pendant. You want to be careful. There are enemies here in the water that can get you. I don't think Zoras specifically. For example, even though that those knights that were up on top of that bridge, even though technically they are elevated above us, if one of them shoots an arrow at you, they will be able to they will be able to hit you. Come on, don't. Oh, come on. Let's get into the whirlpool. There we go. All right, this is what I wanted. This is where I wanted to be, and we are now currently located very close to Death Mountain. We're right at the base. Okay, so we're just going to go right in there. Ah, there we go. Yep, okay. I was questioning whether or not we could actually go into the Tower of Hera before the Desert Palace. There might be a way that I don't know about, but now by the looks of things, we actually need the power gloves. So, it looks like you do have to go to the Desert Palace first. Hey, an old man. I don't know who you are, but if you were going up the mountain, will you take me with you? I lost my lamp, so... watch your step. There are holes in the ground. Can you turn right here? Young man, are you also going to the mountain to look for the golden power? Just ahead is a mountain full of monsters. Many people have vanished in this mountain while looking for the golden power. I don't want to steer you wrong, so please don't get involved in such a mad quest. Okay, by telling us to turn right, he meant Link's right, not our right. That would be referred to as east. Turn right here. You know, I have a granddaughter who's your age. The king took her to the castle and she never returned. Kidnapping those maidens must be part of the wizard's plot. I'm sure he's trying to somehow use the power of the descendants of the wise men. Oh, wouldn't you actually be a descendant of the wise men then? Well, I guess he's going after the last living descendants. Maybe that's the only way the spell works. Okay, so we have these enemies right here. Kind of a precursor to the Goron. Get out of the doorway, please. What? Go. There we go. And if we hit them, they just freeze in place, and then they'll eventually thaw out or unsolidify, and they'll be able to attack us again. The missing maidens are still alive somewhere. I believe that a hero will rescue them. I wait for that day. These dangerous times. I talked too much. Anyway, thank you for your kindness to an old man like me. I wanted to give you this. If you wander into a magical transporter, gaze into this mirror. Wow, okay, so we haven't heard anything about a magical transporter yet, so I guess he's kind of just giving us a magic mirror just in case. Feels like it's going to absorb you into another world. Good, because I don't want to have to travel all the way back to Opasa Beach. The wizard has deceived the king, and now he's trying to open the way to the dark world. To complete your quest, you will need the moon pearl, which is in the tower at the top of the mountain. All I can do for you now is comfort your weariness. Come back here anytime. And he heals us, and this is another place where we can come to heal up. Okay, old man is safe. He gave us a magic mirror for some reason, so we can look at ourselves and transport ourselves to another world, if we ever get there. But now we're going to continue climbing Death Mountain to get to the Tower of Hera and our final pendant. But that's going to have to wait until next time. And until next time, thank you for watching That LP Show, and have a one that is good.